Narcissism, Satanism, people throwing up on each other. That's mainstream media today. I'm an 80s baby, and coming up and growing up, good always overcame evil. What was pushed in our generation was stuff like Superman, Batman, the Joker. There was a constant battle between good and evil, but good always won. That was the narrative. That was the channels that we subscribed to. That was normal. On today's episode, I want to dive into what's actually happening in our tiny planet. I'll say tiny because when something happens in America, it's already news in South Africa a second later. On today's episode, I want to dive into what our kids, our fellow humans are exposed to as normal and what is pushed by mainstream media. Is the narrative good or evil? Next to me, as always, Anne-Marie Meyer.
Thank you.
I'm very hot under the collar about this episode, and I've got a strong opinion. I know you do too.
I agree.
You're a mom, and I know we're going to get some value out of this episode for ourselves and for our viewers.
Definitely.
Let's get into it. The average child will see 200,000 violent acts on TV by the age of 18. Okay, that desensitizes the kids and our fellow humans to narcissism, violence, satanistic rituals. It's pushed by mainstream media today. I want to talk about the Sam Smith Grammy performance with Kim Petras. So Sam Smith performed Unholy, and he identifies as a non-binary with the pronouns of a non-binary person, so he's neither a man or a woman, okay, with a devil's hat. On the Grammy Awards, the most viewed music show on earth. Give me your take.
The worst is that kind of information that our kids get exposed to
As normal.
And there's no PG rating.
There's no warning.
So there's no warning. It's coming up and it's going to be there out there. You know me by now, and I just dislike this for the fact, not even the fact that there's no PG rating, but that because it gets pushed into our kids, into society, it seems like fun. It seems like the right thing to do because I'm an idol. He's an idol to kids. It's great music. And now suddenly it's a yes. So no matter what I say, it's not going to change most of the children's idea out there because he just made it to the Grammy Awards. So he's better than me. He's got moral authority. So he can push that down our kids. And that's the thing that I've got a major problem with.
But at the end of the day, what are we subscribing to? What is the end outcome? Because there always needs to be, I always look at myself growing up. There was a Rambo movie or there was Rocky. You know, the narrative of Rocky is you have to overcome this massive obstacle, you have to train, and then you fight the Russian at the end. You know,
he was a good guy.
He was a good guy. Not that the Russian's a bad guy.
No, but the movie, the role he played is a good guy.
And good always overtakes evil. Currently, the narrative is evil is the way to go. Yeah, so who's pushing this? And why? What is the end goal?
At this point in time, I've got to say that it feels to me like the end goal is let's just take our whole world. As you mentioned right from the start, it's a small world.
Yes.
And it's as if they want to push us into a direction where we all need to follow this Satanism kind of channel. I'm not going to do it. I will not allow anyone around me. And if I can save 50 people or 10 people, but this is what they're doing. And they still have the moral authority because they're on TV. I'm not on TV.
Okay, but here's the channel that I subscribe to and you subscribe to as well. Good always beats evil.
That's all we want.
Good always overcomes evil. So how do we control the narrative with our friends, our kids, the youth and the people that we lead. How do we do that? I've got a couple of ideas.
My friends, I'm going to choose that's got the same beliefs as what I have. Kids, I think it's an open, honest conversation. I think it's from a very young age. They need to, I will never say, never expose them, because they're just going to break out at a later stage.
Yes.
But for me now, it's very important. And I think, get them to understand what's right from wrong. But let's shoot.
100%. So, and this is not a conversation where I'm anti-gay or
Not at all.
anti-lesbian. We've got a manager working at our company who's a young gay man.
Extremely intelligent.
One of the very few people that I'll admit on camera, I am really reaching up to have a conversation with him. And he's probably 15 years younger than me.
Yes.
He is highly intelligent, a killer at what he does. And we're cool. There's no problem. He's got a boyfriend.
Ethics, amazing.
Okay. But he's not pushing that agenda onto everybody. That's who he is. He's accepted himself.
It's his beliefs.
It's his beliefs. I respect him. But he's not pushing everything down, the colleagues' throats and making us buy into what his belief system is.
But that's what we always used to say right from the start, is what is right and what is norm. Your norm might be different from mine or from yours, but I'm not allowed to push my norm onto you.
Yes.
Or anyone else out there, and that's what we want.
Absolutely.
You need to be able to make your own decision.
Quick story. A person that I've met, that I've got the highest level of respect to, had children when he was, at a later age. He's in his 60s. He's a person that lives in America. His entire life, highly successful business person. He's in his 60s. So the two children that he had was at a later stage, and he tells a story about them being accepted at what they call in the States, I think it's Ivy League University. So Ivy League universities means top tier in that specific state. So the two universities had an open day, and he particularly liked the one university. And, being a grounded human, he said, okay, let's go experience both open days. My daughter needs to decide who she would go to. But in my heart, I hope she decides to go for this university. And the reason for that is they've produced a president. They've produced many statesmen. They've produced judicial leaders. They've produced extraordinary amounts of high-performing individuals from that specific university. So he says they go in. The person doing the tour is a person that immediately says to them that he identifies as a non-binary, and the reason they should choose this university is because they've got a phenomenal, the best in the business, hormone replacement therapy that is subsidized.
No ways.
That's the hello. This is the, I'm not going to mention the university's name, and that's what they're pushing. So he said, okay, they're not telling me about the president that they've produced. They're not telling me about the age of this facility, the wonderful sports programs, all the major leadership development.
Why you want to be there?
They're pushing hormone replacement therapy so that girls can become boys and boys can become girls.
And
that's
they
what they're
offer
pushing.
that.
They offer that. And that's being pushed on day one during your tour that you can have in the university. I'm very against that. So,
and that is my child's vulnerable age.
100%.
So that when he comes in, a girl hurts him, and now I'm going to decide to become a man. People can say whatever they want to say, but it's not like that, because you know who you are. I've seen people change in my life at a much later change in their life due to circumstances, due to things that's going to happen to them or happen to them,
so,
rather.
Yeah, so yeah, here's the conversation. It goes deeper. They finish the open day, get in the car. So he asks her, what did you think? He says, I love the university. I love the facilities. I love the opportunities that I'm going to have here. I'm very uncomfortable about the agenda and what is being pushed onto me. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to come. And as hurt as he is, because he really wanted her to go there, said I'm in agreement. I don't subscribe to this. This is not my values and
I
principles.
get goosebumps.
I'm out. So what can we do to help? Because we must always come up with a solution on this episodes. What can we do to help parents monitor their children better? I've got a couple of ideas. So keep tabs on the media use. As soon as there's a TV and internet, no longer in the past. You know, I remember, I'm gonna call it out. We've got a colleague that said it best. You know, tonight on ETV.
That's the only thing.
I think it was what was that naughty movie? I think it was Emmanuel.
I
So
don't know
at 12
what the
o'clock
name,
at
but
night,
it-
know, at 12 o'clock at night there was a naughty movie.
No,
You know,
by that time we were locked in our rooms.
But
I
you
think
understand.
parents just didn't allow you to
100%.
be exposed to that kind of thing at a young age.
And today, if you've got a TV and internet, you know, I heard something the other day, it hit me like a train. A 15-year-old boy with a cell phone and 5 minutes can see more naked women than the richest king throughout 2 lifetimes. Okay. And then I want you to process what I just said because it's true. So the
But internet is available anywhere.
Yeah.
So even if you don't have it at home, you're going to walk into Woolies,
And you're
into
gonna
a
have
shopping
internet,
mall,
yeah.
you've got internet.
So
So
pay
they've got
tabs.
the availability. And they can do, I can't watch them. Can you watch your child 24/7? You can't. So yes, you need to monitor that.
So I'm not pushing an agenda that we should be anti-technology. I think
No.
technology is great. And I've got an app on my phone that has made me a billion times better person than I was pre-downloading that app. And they're not paying me to say the name, but it's called Audible. So Bobby before Audible versus Bobby after Audible. It's 2 different Bobbies.
Yeah, but we can say that with all the staff. Because
100%.
we've seen it
We push
over the last year, 18 months basically.
we push the agenda of reading
Yes.
and listening to Audible books. So technology is a good thing.
Very.
Being able to access media is a wonderful thing, but our kids are sponges. So we need to, I think, regulate tightly what that sponge is being fed and then question, are you understanding the narrative correctly? And have debates. I think open debate. So what did you think about the Sam Smith concert? You know, I had a conversation with a young person. He said, no, it was all right. So which part did you like? I like this part. Which part didn't you like? And then start poking from the side to say, okay, but now that you explain it to me that way, I see it differently. I think that's at its core. It means parents and young people and friends have a more difficult time to be able to influence than they had 10 years ago, 15 or 20 years ago. But in the same breath, you have an easier time to influence because if you use it wisely and to your advantage, you can push good agendas down your kid's throat and they can definitely benefit from them. That's my two cents on it.
I've got a saying, what you see, you can't unsee.
Yes.
So that is a golden rule in our household. To say if you start, there was a couple of months ago, there was a movie and I just didn't agree about the movie. And obviously I can't tell my son anymore what to watch and what not. He's old enough. But we've got that open relationship. And I just said, you know what? You know the end of the story. You know exactly what's going to happen. Do you really want to feed your mansion, this beautiful brain of yours, with things that you know what's going to happen? Do you need to really replay scenes,
Yes,
one after the other? And you can't unsee it. You don't need to see it. You've seen the first. You know what's going to end it. So why do you do it? And he stopped. The rest watched it. And afterwards he said to me, I didn't miss out on anything.
100%.
So as long as you've got an open relationship, I believe in that. And the moment your child understands, or anyone that you get involved with, I work with a lot of young people. And that is just the saying that I've got. Never, you can't change it, so don't keep on watching. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And this kind of information, I don't agree with the fact that there's no PG. So be careful.
100%. If you guys agree with our point of view or disagree with our point of view, please leave us a comment. hit the like button, and
Please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell.
thank you very much. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.